Hello and welcome back. My last session was completely silent except for desktop noises, so I'm just gonna continue with another session here, because there's no point in me revisiting that since it's completely lost. So I have created two things to highlight. One are interfaces and the other ones are roles, to show the difference between them. So first I'm just going to show you how I implemented interfaces. Here, basic stuff. We check if properties exist and methods exist, and we make them constant variables, basically just dictionaries. Then we create a static function here that takes a node and the name here from here, a dictionary. It can be any dictionary, but it should be one of these. And we check if it has the methods and properties we expect, and we return true if that's the case. So we can check if an object implements a specific role or interface. And then I have roles which are similar, except they have implementations, whereas interfaces are just definitions for objects to fulfill. The way I use these roles is I load them from here. This is how you can use static classes, by the way. This is probably what you're supposed to do. And here, for example, I moved the NPC code for activate into a role. And in the player, I also check for this. If libinterface implements this object we've collided with during the recast, and here I specify the dictionary. That's also a constant. If it's activatable, then we activate the object. And for the role, I made an activatable role, not an interface. And this role is extending node, so that we can add it as a child, because there's really no other way how to implement this in Godot. Normally you would want these things to be directly copy their functions into the target, but we'll use nodes here. We also have it as data, which should make it savable, but we'll see if that's something that's going to save itself. Since it's a node, it can have its ready function as well, so you can do stuff like and it can also have process functions. Oh, right, we need the delta stuff. So dummy process, see? I don't want this here right now, so I set the name so that when you add it as a child, oh yeah, the way these are constructed, you can basically just create a new one and add it as a child, and that's just gonna be it, right? So in the NPC, I create a variable that holds my roles, and then I just use lib_role consume. Although I can just create the node and add it manually if I wanted to, and I just push them into my array here. But it's not really necessary. It just makes it easier to iterate through them. And they both activate, right? Dummy role has dummy func, and activatable has an activate role. So normally how roles should work is they would take their function and overwrite this one, or create a function in the object at runtime or during compilation, whatever, and you would have your activate role. But we have to do it like this because it's just not supported in Godot. I could use meta, but it's discouraged in the documentation. So I've just moved some stuff around, and I decided to keep them, even though it's not something I wanted to really do, but to highlight the difference between roles and interfaces. That interfaces are just descriptions for objects to fit into a specific model, as if a model or just interface. And roles have similar functionality, except they actually implement the function, and that function then gets applied whenever it's needed. So here, see, debug text works, and I can actually customize this if I wanted to. Here, when I create the role, I actually supply, this is a required argument, it sets the default text, basically. See. So that's interfaces and roles. Roles, in this instance, kind of function like components, except this is all done through code, so it's not actually here. So if I open my NPC or something, hang on. You can see my NPC only has this one script. There's no other stuff here. So what's the problem with the roles in this instance? Since Godot doesn't really support creating functions in runtime, only except through the metadata, these roles are not very useful, because I already emulated them via a library. So I had to write these functions. Consume, this applies the role and fulfills, this checks if the object has a role that has the if it fulfills a specific role. It's basically like an interface, except we can be sure that the function will do something. So the reason this is useless, sort of useless, is that I can just simply copy this, take this to my library, and func, you know what, I'll do this in an object because we want everything to be interactable when we want. Object activate. Oh, maybe I should call this interact. We'll just call it activate. Anyway, and I just stop something from work, and I just do this, right? And this requires a dialog box, which I can preload here. And this will create a scene. It uses global. We actually don't need to reference the object since this is not a static function. So basically accept this, which is even better because now I can be sure that this will save. So yeah, a function is better suddenly because I don't have to do anything extra to make sure it saves. I would have to give the role a unique object ID, which is something I can do. There's different ways to approach this, but right, and since I now have object activate, I can I'm just gonna show this off again for the dummy role stuff. Oh, oops. So that works. As you can see, dummy function called in dummy role. So now I'm going to get rid of this and just do lib object activate itself, and that's it. So no roles, nothing, and this goes away, and then we have lib and object activate. Well, we kind of require the object to have a text, but I don't need to actually fetch that. I can just supply a parameter and that settles it. So now we have a function that's more versatile than yeah, it requires less code. I just call the function with the parameters I want. It breaks no compatibility. It requires no setup, virtually no setup. I had to set I had to tell myself that I'm going to call this object and not NPC. I could call this some interactable or whatever. I don't even need to check if oh yeah. But the only thing I have to do is load a scene. Scenes and classes have to be preloaded. Same result, with less code. And because I decided to follow a convention, a writing convention in my code, then I know that any object can now activate a dialog box. No setup, no nodes, no connections, no coupling, nothing. So I only basically made the roles to show you how you could make this if you wanted to with pure code. Some people go here and construct child nodes. And hang on, maybe I'll find my nodes here somewhere. Usually people kind of drag and drop their nodes from here, creating hundreds of files just to drag this and add functionality and then configure it over here. But I mean, you don't have to, you can make a function and works. And that's why I've decided to simulate the roles with just functions. So I'm basically not doing anything more complicated than having a library and naming my functions in a intelligent way. So my object now, anything, right? Okay, so to highlight how easy it is for me to do this, I just need to, well, I made the interfaces, so I'm going to be using this because this is also trivial to set up. As you can see, this is very easy. Virtually no setup, except I have to decide what kind of roles I want and what kind of functions these things have. Get rid of this because I'm just gonna have activatable, and that's gonna be context sensitive. For example, I can have enemy activate or switch activate, which is also activatable but does something else. This also can be more easily implemented, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I have a library that does a lot of this stuff. In my previous session that was not recorded, I created a walking radius for my NPCs, and this is simply checking the distance, but I wanted to do one more thing here, because yeah, oh, they only walked back diagonally again, so I'm just going to randomize this and prevent them from going further than they should, and they can choose either to go back or to stay on that axis, which should result in a far more nicer looking wandering for NPCs. They will stay within their range. This NPC kind of doesn't want to move. Okay. I should also make them stop, at least the NPCs. He's doing exactly what I want him to do, but it's random, so make them move in one direction, stop for a few seconds, move in another direction, stop for a few seconds, stuff like that. Although they kinda do that on their own. They will stay within the radius, always. They will not wander off the screen. So that was something I implemented last time, which I have the recording but without sound. So in this session I wanted to also implement an item, but I'm going to showcase the other thing I wanted to showcase. I'll just call this node, I'll just make a tree. Change type. We'll do a static body here. Tree. Okay, tree, just new rectangle shape, and sprite 2D. Let's see. You know what, I'm gonna do something I wanted to implement anyway, so crate. This is a simple wooden crate. And I'm going to save this as crate, delete the tree scene because I don't need it. So now we have a small crate, and what do we call it? This is not going to be a crate, but it's going to be a static interactable. I'll just call this static object. So obviously this means my script is going to be used for other stuff than crates. I reload this. Mind, this is not what I wanted. Where's the static? Now I do activate. I have to implement this function. Lib object activate. In this case, I want to be able to modify the text. This is how little code I need to write. Of course, if I had used nodes, then I could just drag and drop stuff in here, but I prefer to do everything with code. If it's possible to do it in code, and obviously my crate might have more functionality than a regular static object, but like dropping items, but this is all that needs to happen for me to give it some text box. No, I didn't drop it in the world, hang on. So let's go alpha overworld. Now I'm gonna use something I never use. Right click, instantiate scene here, and I'm looking for a crate. So this adds a simple crate to my world. Oh, and my crate is obviously moving because it's attached. Why is it attached to an enemy? Okay. And this crashes. Data. Huh? It's true. This probably shouldn't be here if I want it to be more portable. So we'll put the data back into our NPC. And of course there's no text, I didn't configure any text, but yeah. I can go to my crate here, I can add text here in my main scene. Just a plain old regular crate. I probably want this to be multi-line text. Okay, plain old regular crate. And we duplicate this. What's the shortcut? Control Shift D. It's a stupid shortcut. Let's make 3 crates. One here, one here. And here. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, I can give this script now to absolutely anything and produce a text that I can even paginate because it's using the library function. And it's a static object, and so I don't need to care about this thing breaking something. For example, some of my libraries for NPCs require this to be yeah, something that can be moved with speed, coordinates, etc. So this I will move back to NPCs. And now it's also savable. So it's if you activate it, yeah. And we don't need to mess around with connections or coupling or anything. So that's why I prefer the library approach instead of, maybe sometimes even preferable to roles, because roles, as neat as they are, they introduce some weird bugs. Like, I don't know. For example, they introduce problems like, where do I store this? Do I have to reference the global save data here? Do I need object ID for each activatable, etc, etc. This is stuff I would need to sort out, which if sorted out would work just like normal, but yeah. So now I'm wondering if I should even keep the role, because the function is just more versatile. So I'm getting rid of this role. I'm keeping a dummy role, and yeah, in case there's some complicated behavior I want to share that would be inconvenient for a library function, because for example, let's just say it relies too much on variables or something of that nature, then sure, I'll use a role, but mostly I will rely on interfaces. So for example, I'm going to check if it has roles, and if it does, it will iterate over them and activate them. But still, you know, there are some things that will make a bit more sense in inheritance, but just libraries work. They break nothing and they introduce no dependencies. Hang on, my bar gate also has an activate function. No, it doesn't. It has lock and unlock. So my pressure switch does what? Oh, this is what my pressure switch was doing. My BART gate has lock. Okay, I can change my pressure switch now, and we'll make another interface. That's my interface. Constant lockable door. Unlockable doesn't really matter. Method has lock and unlock. Properties, none. We don't need any properties here. So now my pressure switch can just check if connected node is a lockable door, and we'll just call unlock. If it is a lockable door. It activates it, so that unlocks it. Same thing here. It just locks it. So What else do I need to do here? Okay. So now I need to go to my level, check if this works. Put another zoning. Why? Failed to load script. Oh! Wait, no. Why? Can you not resolve this? Oh. Okay, I should have checked this. And this. And this. Okay. Crypto. Okay. I had an error in the script, and then it doesn't really show properly sometimes where the problem has occurred. And nothing happens. What's the problem here? Need a connected node. Oh, did I just ruin somehow? Hang on. Need a connected node. This is weird. It should be settable as an You know what? I'm just gonna remove the class name here completely. Just this regular something. Same with roles. Can't use it anyway, so whatever. Gate locked, unlocked, see if there's... Properties. If it has no properties, we'll assume simply that it's true, that it implements it if it doesn't require anything, right? Properties r equals rn true. So it has to be true from previous iterations as well, previous checks, and then return r. I actually don't need to do this like this. I need to do this at least so that it registers as true. Okay. Invalid get index, what are you talking about again? Okay, they work. And my crates work as well. Oh, there might be something I want to do before turning off the text box, and that's displaying all the text. Okay, so that comes later. It's acting as if it doesn't have a connected node for some reason. What's happening here? When we restart Godot, I think I stumbled upon some weird behavior. Okay. For some reason, Godot just bugged out on me. Okay then. Ah, see, the NPC saves. Spoken to true. I also cleaned up the pressure box, at least. I don't know, for some reason, Godot just decided, nope, not gonna unset everything to null and good luck. It's a shame I cannot actually set functions. The runtime would make this more usable, but soft reset. Okay. So I showed off the crate, and now I need to work on other things like pick-upable items. I guess I'm going to create a few more interfaces. And description. Can I do something like this? I don't think I can. Nope. It has to be a constant expression. So what if I just did this? Oh, cool. Okay, hang on. Pick up a book. Invalidate index. Oh. Right. Okay. Save already exists, so okay. Pick up able. Ah, what if I do this? Okay. Ah, there we go. So methods pick up properties. Nice. So I can combine definitions of interfaces. Cool. That's actually nice. This means that this works, except it has to be static, not constant. So I can basically make an extended interface. So everything that will be pickupable will also be savable. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. That's it for this video, for this session, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.